Well, hello, friends, and welcome to the $1 Million Message. This is National Sales Director Kristen Sharp, and I am so excited to have my personal team member, Michelle McKenzie, on with us today because I wanted to talk about the power of a party. This past weekend, Michelle had a new consultant launch party that she did with one of her team members, and she had a personal party. Now, these two Mary Kay parties resulted, get this, in over $5,000 in sales. Two parties, over $5,000. One party had 16 guests and one party had 11 guests. The first party was a launch party for a new consultant with over $3,093 in sales. And then the second party, which was her personal party, was $2,307 in sales with 11 people. So to kind of do the math, that first party averaged $193 per face, and the second party had a per face average of over $207. I mean, just so incredible. So I'm saying this because I thought, wow, what an opportunity for us to ask Michelle, for me to ask Michelle some questions, because not every party that she has held has resulted in this large of sales. She's had zero parties. She's had parties that were $100, $300, $500, $1,000. But these were two very big back-to-back parties that happened within a 24-hour period. So, Michelle, for starters, congratulations. I'm so excited that these parties were held without me. You did this on your own with your team. So if you had to simply sum this up, what do you think made the biggest difference in you having two very successful large parties back to back?
Absolutely, communication and preparation. There were a lot of practice that went into the flip chart and the skincare party process, but also communication with one another for the launch party, making sure that we all knew what each other was doing, who was bringing what, how we were setting it up, the set sheet that we were going to use, everything that went into it, we talked about ahead of time and made sure that we knew what each other was doing and how to prepare for it. And the same thing for my party on Sunday. I coached the hostess, made sure we had tables and seating. I coached all of the guests, made sure that they had their skin type and that they knew what to expect and see if they had any questions, what I could help with their skincare. So it was just prep. And then also all of the preparation really helped me just be more relaxed doing the party so I could focus on it just being fun and just a fun time for everybody.
Okay. So what I heard you say was preparation. So you did not just show up with your starter kit without a plan of action. You had your bin ready to go with your tablecloths, with your demo roll-up bag, with your set sheet. You knew that you made sure that you had a demo brush for every person to use for their CC cream. You had washcloths. She had pink tickets, sales tickets. She was prepared. And you also practiced your flip chart presentation. You knew how long the presentation was going to take. You knew if things weren't going correctly, you were going to adjust. Okay, so for someone that's listening, maybe it's been a while since they've done a party, or maybe perhaps they've never done a party. How would you suggest practicing the skincare class presentation, or what tips would you give to help them be more prepared?
So I watched your live skincare class over and over, but when I watched it, I actually made notes while I was watching it. And so when I practiced my own flip chart, I incorporated these notes and made personal notes on my flip chart. And I literally just practiced the verbiage so I felt comfortable doing it over and over. So that was a lot of the process with the flip chart and the skincare class, but also just trying to book as many skincare classes back to back so I get a lot of practice actually doing it in person.
So smart. So you've been able to refine your presentation because the skincare parties have been done close together. And I love that because after a party, you ask yourself, what did you do well? What did you not do so well? What do you want to keep doing? And what do you need to adjust? And when those parties are done close together, you're able to make those adjustments and not forget, so you don't make the same mistakes over and over again. So you guys, because I've seen Michelle's flip chart, you'll notice that she has her pages in sheet protectors because there are some pages of the company that she uses pages, and then there's some pages where she's like typed out or wrote out her own notes. Like she has a little chicken scratch, but she knows what it says. And then there's pages that she switches out based on if she's going to do microderm or charcoal mask. Now, I know you sold a lot of repair sets because that's on, of course, the set sheet, but what did you have the guests try at both of these parties?
So for everyone, just to keep it simple, sweetie, we always do the miracle sets. And that's because I know we're going to be talking about the other sets and then doing one-on-one consultations so we can tailor the skincare to their individual needs at the close. And we actually sold, even though we demoed the miracle set, which everyone loved, we sold a lot more repair sets.
Okay. So, and you did put the product on their faces, not on the back of their hand, correct?
That is correct.
Yes. Okay, I love it. So they got to try before they buy, test before they invest. Okay, so thinking back to both of these parties, I know one was a debut, but basically it was just a skincare party, very similar to what you did at the second party that was your personal party. What else do you think is important for the listeners to know about these two parties that would help them have parties that had over 2,000, 3,000 in sales?
So I think part of it is really making sure you're coaching your guests. So not only are you gathering information, but you're developing a relationship and a rapport before you even meet them face to face. And then that preparation, making sure you're ready before they arrive so that you can immediately go to greet them. And then I incorporate the Skin Analyzer app. So into the coaching before they even arrive, I even say, hey, you're going to get 10 extra raffle tickets for the party if you do the Skin Analyzer app and send me the results. And that way they can really get an idea about what, where their skin needs are, and even see the products that we offer to help with these different skin needs before they even come to the party.
I love that. So a lot of time in the coaching and building the relationship, and also having them do that app where they already see the concerns, even if they didn't even know they had concerns, they now know, hey, there's some areas and here's some specific products. I think that really builds credibility in our brand as well too. Now, one thing I also see you do is a lot of personalized goodie bags, and really tell them about what that even means, because these are not expensive, but I see that you use these, as do I, in the coaching process. So tell them about these personalized goodie bags, what's in them, and how you utilize those.
Yeah, these are so fun. So they're just little organza bags with a little demo, little miniature satin hands cream or a charcoal mask. And then I like to put in a lip gloss, a little hard candy, and a business card so that we can put a name tag on it and literally personalize it for each guest. And I actually take a picture of, let's say it's Sally's little gift bag, and I'll send it to her before the party and let her know how excited I am to see her and give this to her. And I feel like that just gets them excited to come and let them know that they're not only expected, but we're excited to see them as well.
I love it. So these are like sample products, section 2 products, but with your business card, a little candy, you make it look cute. I've seen the pictures, and people love to see their name. They love to hear their name. And that just does show that extra personalized, service, especially when you're asking them all the questions about their skin. Okay. I love it. What else do you think the listeners would like to know about these parties that you think also made a difference? Because they're thinking, okay, these are a lot of people. So did you do all the individual consultations? Like, did you guys divide and conquer? Like, what did that look like?
Oh my goodness. So biggest tip is never do a big party alone. Ever. Because it gets kind of crazy. Everybody's having a good time. It's really fun. But you want to make sure that it's being run efficiently. And so one thing that we did is I would do the presentation, and then the other ladies on my team would go around. They would pass out raffle tickets, and they would, squirt the satin hands, and definitely at the end we all individually took someone for that one-on-one consultation so that they would get that individual service at the end and help get through everyone quickly and be respectful of their time.
I love that. And, Mary Cash always would say when you have a team member or even a prospect to take her with you in your car so they can learn while you earn. And I think that's so smart. I do know that your team members, because they've seen you do parties, even when they came to help you, it was very easy because they knew what to do. But you also had a new friend, one of our adoptees that just wanted to watch a party, that hadn't been to a party in a long time, that came with you, that was also helpful. So if you're listening to this and you're like, I don't even have team members, You guys, when I started my parties, I had just other women in Mary Kay that were not a part of my team, weren't even a part of the unit I was a part of, that came with me because they wanted to help. And that's such the beautiful thing about our Mary Kay sisterhood. Well, what I think is so fun, Michelle, is that you never gave up. When I look at your perfect and your power start numbers, you guys, some of her faces were zeros. Some of them were $15. Some were $60. Some were $299. Some were $399. Some were $50. And I look at those numbers and I'm like, I am so glad you didn't give up, because if you would have just said, oh, these first 8 faces, they weren't very profitable. And then you turned the corner and, oh my goodness, immediately you jumped up to over a $200 per face average. So what that tells me is we never give up. You might have a party that's a complete flop, and then the next one might be a complete success. And isn't it funny? Sometimes when we have the best presentations, it might not be the most profitable. And sometimes when we feel like our presentation's a hot mess, it's the most profitable. It's a numbers game. So I hope today Michelle's story inspired you that you too can do this. And I hope you heard that preparation is huge. The preparation, the practice, but we can't just be practicing without putting it into action. And so you did these parties scared in the beginning, and every time you do them, you're getting better and better and more confident. I remember as Michelle was a new consultant, she called me and said, oh my gosh, Kristen, I'm not selling anything. I don't even know what to do. Like, I am having a hard time asking for the sale. So we're going to end with this, Michelle. When you came to me and you said, I have a hard time, people are not buying anything, what did I say to you? And then what did you adjust?
So you told me that it is just as honorable to sell than as it is to buy. And you told me to do a little mental trick and just pretend that I had millions and millions of dollars, so that I wasn't stressed out about necessarily making a sale, and I could focus on making the customer happy. And that totally switched my mindset. It's like, it's okay to ask for the sale. You're offering a wonderful product and a wonderful service, but you're also meeting their needs and putting the focus on them. And that really switched my mindset.
I love that. I love that. When you go into the party and you make it all about them and not about you, and you're not thinking about the dollar signs, you're thinking, how can I bless? How can I invest in these women? How can I make them feel like $1 million? Because isn't it true that when we affect how a woman feels on the outside, it truly affects how she feels on the inside? Well, some of these things that we referenced today, I will post on my Kristen Sharp NSD Facebook page. If you're like, what does the setup look like? What do these goodie bags look like? Well, how is she pre-profiling? We'll put those resources there for you to have access to those. But Michelle, we're so excited. What a weekend, and so many parties yet to come that I know are going to be equally successful. You are not defined by the amount of product that you sell. I want you to know that, but the lives that you touch. And your paycheck is always a reflection of the lives that you touch. So the bigger the paychecks, you're doing great work. All right, friends, this is National Sales Director Kristen Sharp signing off with my soon-to-be Sales Director, Michelle McKenzie. Bye for now.